Welcome to This Week in Orthodoxy, the world's only online video newscast focused on events in the life of the Orthodox Church. I'm Emmy Louveris. These are the stories making headline news this week. The United Nations Human Rights Council held a special session on September 1st to discuss the situation in Iraq. Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew and members of the Holy Synod usher in the new ecclesiastical year, while the leader of the world's Orthodox community still faces continued religious persecution. In Washington, the Pentagon is drawing up plans for a U.S. effort to combat ISIL, the Islamic State of Iraq, in the Levant in Syria. And India's Christian population declares September 12th, Day of Fasting and Prayer for the suffering Christians of Iraq. First to Switzerland, where earlier this week the Humanitarian Rights Council of the United Nations held its 22nd special session in Geneva to discuss the situation in Iraq. Human Rights Deputy High Commissioner Flavia Pansieri stated, "Serious violations of human rights and humanitarian law have been committed in areas under control by ISIL. These violations include targeted killings, forced conversions, abductions, slavery, and both sexual and physical abuse, as well as torture." The report went on to add that religious establishments, including Christian churches, have been destroyed by this militant extremist group. An estimated 850,000 religious and ethnic minorities have been displaced and are now seeking refuge in camps established by the Kurdish-governed regions. The statement closes by placing accountability in the hands of the Iraqi government and urges the international community in protecting the fundamental human rights of those groups being deprived of them. However, it also warns to exert all efforts to ensure that any individuals who have participated in or supported the commission of these crimes be held accountable in accordance with the law. No word yet on what official action, if any, the UN will take on this issue. Now on to Constantinople, where the Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew and the Holy Sacred Synod rang in the Ecclesiastical New Year. Patriarch Bartholomew declared September 1st a day of prayer for the preservation of God's creation. In a service at the Fanar, his message reinforced respect for the planet, the Holy Spirit that deifies humankind and at the same time unifies it with the natural environment in order that we may perceive it as part of our very selves and respect it as something sacred without deviating toward abuses and extremes. Known as the Green Patriarch for his strong stance in protecting the earth, he's earned numerous awards, including the U.S. Congressional Gold Medal, the highest award granted to a civilian in 1997, followed by an International Environmental and Development Award, the Sophie Prize, in 2002. Since the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, the Orthodox Church has always observed September 1st as the beginning of the new ecclesiastical year, and while the Orthodox community looks forward to the new year with joy, it is reminded of the difficult position the Patriarch is in. Seen as the spiritual leader for the world's 300 million Orthodox Christians, he is considered first among equals among all Eastern Orthodox patriarchs and serves as the Ecumenical Patriarch from Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul. Across the Atlantic in Washington, top military commanders are working out a formal strategy for combating ISIL in Syria. In a White House press conference last week, President Barack Obama indicated that Pentagon officials were still working on a policy to combat ISIL in Syria. Given strained relations between Washington and Moscow, Russia is not supporting UN intervention in the region and has continually vetoed UN efforts regarding the violence in Syria. Since the outbreak of violence in 2011, all 5 UN resolutions relating to Syria have been vetoed and killed by Beijing and Moscow. Among these resolutions were efforts to refer Syria to the International Criminal Court and the implementation of economic sanctions. The veto has forced individual members to work together as independent but aligned states outside of the UN framework. According to a recent U.S. State Department report, the violence in Syria has created a safe haven for ISIL and has prompted Washington to seek a regional response that involves key allies. However, they stress that any plans and discussion have not developed to the level of presenting it to the commander-in-chief. What is known is that the Pentagon is not looking for just a military response. According to a Department of Defense press release on the issue, it takes all elements of national power to contain and eliminate the extremist group. Nearly 191,000 Syrians have been killed since the beginning of the conflict in 2011. Damascus, the capital, is the seat of the Greek Orthodox Church of Antioch, and its territory includes Syria, Iraq, Iran, Lebanon, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, and Qatar. And finally, Christians in the subcontinent have gathered to show their solidarity with persecuted Christians in Iraq. Last week, India's Christian population met in Bangalore and declared September 12th a day of fasting and prayer for the suffering Christians in Iraq. It will be followed by a public rally observed as Black Sunday on September 14th. And in news from OCN, would you like to support OCN's ministry? One way you can help is to do your regular shopping on Amazon.com through our affiliate program. There's no cost to you. Amazon donates a portion of its profits to us. To get started, visit our website at myocn.net and click the Buy button. You'll find easy instructions and links right there. For everyone here at the OCN studios, thank you for watching This Week in Orthodoxy, a program made possible by a generous gift from the National Philoptochos Society in memory of former OCN Chairman of the Board, Dr. George Mekris. Wishing you a blessed week, I'm Emmy Louveris. Let's go forth in peace.